for joining us here at the table today. Sitting down to have a cuppa and a chat with me today is Melody, Fiona and Mary Ellen. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
And Fiona, this is your last shoot with us today, isn't it? Because you're about to head off on maternity leave.
I sure am.
You look great. How are you feeling, though?
Yep, I'm ready to take that maternity leave and just keep going and going and going. Yeah, I'm
we'll
done.
be thinking and praying for you over the next few weeks. So
Thank you.
All the best. Well, today we're going to be talking to Nicole and Grant Menzies. Every year they ride long distance somewhere around the world, and we're going to chat to them about family time and values in the midst of a busy life. That's all of us. And have you heard of the Barefoot Investor? Could you really save $10,000 in one day just by following the methods suggested in the book? We've got Gia and Olive who'll be in the kitchen whipping up some delicious banana pancakes, and Alicia is going to show us how to burn them off. But first, we're going to kick off today. Would you actually make your kids get a job as soon as legally possible? Are the teens today too spoilt or entitled? Well, Kat Rohde wrote for Essential Kids Online, and she says that she plans to make them get a weekend job as soon as they are old enough. One of the main reasons is that she wants them to understand real-life skills and how to handle money. Marilyn, does she have a point here?
I think she definitely has a point here. She talked about how when she was, I think, 16 or 17, she went out to get a part-time job on Saturdays and Sundays, and how it really helped her to grow and, understand the value of money, as you just said. And I was reflecting on it in my own life. My parents always really emphasised school over getting a job, so I never got one during high school.
I was going to say, how old were you when you got your first one?
18, so as soon as I graduated, I went out and got any job I could. But yeah, looking back, I really wish I had worked throughout high school as soon as I was able to get a job, because I think it really does set you up for just being a couple of steps ahead just when you graduate, because employers really do look for more than just good grades, I think.
It's such a life skill, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But from a different point of view, though, I would just like to think about how, how she's saying that, she wants her kids to get a job so that they can learn about money skills. Is it the job's responsibility to teach money skills, or is it the parents' responsibility to teach the kids money skills?
Well, both. Aren't they getting old enough to be independent and then to be learning some of those skills themselves? It can come from another source.
Yeah, but the way it makes it sound like it's as if, if kids get a job, they won't be entitled. If kids get a job, they will learn how to deal with money. But I think, you can do all this at home as well. I'm not saying, don't get a job. I got a job when I was 14. So,
nice.
But I think it can go both ways, as in that child will then value money more than having an education. The way I was brought up was like you, Mary Ellen, where education was first and foremost, and that was important. And I think I will be instilling those values in my children only because education for young girls is a privilege, and it's something that not all countries have the right to. So in terms of raising young girls, I'm going to let them know, hey, this is a privilege that you have in this country, quality education. It's something that I don't want them to take for granted.
I don't think you're going to miss out if you're having a job at the same time. Like, I've always had a job from early high school, and I think the legal age is around 13 to 15, depending on the states of Australia and New Zealand. But we've always had one, and it didn't hold back my education. But I've always been independent, and I learnt money from a really young age. So I think it's a great idea.
I learnt money through my parents allowing me to make payments on certain things. Like they would give me their money to, hey, go pay this mortgage or go pay this bill. That was how I realised, things don't cost for free.
Well, my mum and dad always said to me, learn to work when you're younger and you'll always have it when you're older. We're going to take you into the kitchen now. Someone who does know how to work hard is that Olive. She is good in the kitchen. She's making us some banana smoothie pancakes.
3, 2,
1.
what are we making?
Waffles.
We are actually making waffles and pancakes. It's a banana smoothie pancake, and it's so easy. I'm teaching you recipes that you could use for your kids and your family, and I don't remember where I saw this recipe, but it was online, so I'm sorry if whoever has made it sees me. I don't remember your name, I'm sorry. But it's 2 cups of oats, isn't it? 2 cups of oats, there we go. This is so easy. You can't put your hand in there. Okay, can you put the banana in there for me? Yeah, you can have somewhere after we finish. Okay, so put the banana, so cut it up in little bits and throw it in. There we go. Banana, 2 bananas, right. Make sure the bananas are right, because this is what's going to make it all nice and gooey and stick together. And this has got no flour in it. Look, if you're gluten-free, you can actually use gluten-free oats for the kids that do have allergies.
Mama.
There's an oat. There's one little oat there. See that one? Have that little oat. And half a cup of any non-dairy milk. I think we've used almond milk. You lost it here. There it is. Oh, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I've never made this before, by the way, but I saw it last night and I was so impressed with what they did. I thought I'd share it with you guys and we can try it. Hey, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. You don't have to put that in there and you don't have to use this, but I'm using some. It's maple syrup, just 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, or you could just have 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. Maple, oh, no, definitely don't need any sugar right now, okay? You can have it in the pancake. And this is also optional, but a little bit of cinnamon, just half a teaspoon.
Yum, eat cinnamon.
I love cinnamon too. I reckon we should start mixing it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the fun part. Whoa. Okay, so we've just been blending until it got really smooth. And we are going to actually make waffles with it as well because the woman I saw making it online actually made waffles and pancakes with it. So this is the consistency. Can you see that? So it's as smooth as you could probably make it. Do you want to taste some? I didn't put the powder in it, the baking powder. We've got to try it again. Hold on. That is not going to be a good thing. It's 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Yay, I saved it. Woo! Okay, let's try again. Let's go.
Yeah.
Go. Okay, it looks like a really good consistency though. Okay, now I'm gonna turn this on. Yeah. What do you think? So make sure it's heated. It's hot enough. Maybe just medium-low heat. Okay, let's just start with the waffle because that's a bit hot now. I'm just gonna throw that in there. You can oil it if you want, but this recipe is actually made so that you don't have to use any oil. So, and apparently it makes really thick pancakes. And we'll shut that and let it go. Okay, so this is like a really thick batter. But these pancakes are super special for kids because you saw all the amazing goodness in there.
I already put some in there.
So you're gonna have to cook this until it actually cooks through a bit and then you can lift it up with your spatula. So it might take a little while. Okay, see you later, alligator. Okay, so we've been letting it cook a little bit, maybe for about a minute, and see how easy it is to, look at that, it's already looking like a pancake, but it's really thick and it smells, I've burnt it a little bit, so you don't need to overcook it like I have, but it actually smells like banana cake in here. Let's see how the waffle is going. Oh, wow, look at that! Stop the press. I am loving this. Look at that waffle. How good is that? This is like the easiest recipe ever. Banana smoothie pancake. Whoever came up with this is awesome.
I want to put some.
You want to put some maple syrup and nah, a little bit, okay? Because I know how much you. Ooh, just drizzle. Oh, okay, there we go. Do you want to try it? It might be a little hot though. And your pancake is done, I reckon.
Yum.
Look at that. There you go. A couple of pancakes for the kids, oatmeal. You've got banana in there, some almond milk. It is awesome. I think the kids are gonna love this one, and so are you.
Show me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try it? How about you try a little bit? Yeah. Oh, this looks awesome. You okay with that one?
What was that, Mel?
No, she just scooped up the maple syrup and drank
Yeah, I was
it.
going to say, she was a bit stingy on the maple syrup. Could have had more, right?
Yeah, have a good swig of that maple syrup. Go down well with some ice cream, I'm sure.
Oh, yum. Now you're talking. Well, if you're after something keen to look after your health and to encourage your family to do the same, this little book is packed with great information on how you can avoid those lifestyle diseases and increase your chances of living a long and healthy life. It's called UTurn and it is absolutely free just for you today. All we need is your name, your postal address and the name of the book, UTurn, so that you can send us those details to our email, hello@thetabletv.com, or just give us a buzz on 1300 300 389, that's in Australia, and if you're in New Zealand, for our Kiwi viewers, 0800 694 673. Well, here's something pretty exciting. Fat Mum Slim author Chantel Elam claims to have saved $10,000 in just one day by following the steps in Scott Pape's 2017 bestseller, The Barefoot Investor. And it's being promoted as the only money guide you'll ever need, apparently. That's a lot of money to be saving. Melody, how did she do it?
Well, actually, fun fact first. I actually interviewed Scott Pape ages ago for an article that I did before he was, famous. No, actually, he was quite famous back then already. But so this is what Fat Mum Slim did in terms of following what Scott Pape was saying about calling the customer retention companies of all department of all the different companies. So she, for example, she called her energy provider and she got a 28% discount. She called her mortgage bank and it got reduced by 1.84%.
That's
she
a
called her
decent chunk.
insurance and it got decreased by 17.5%. But the thing that I had a problem with what she was doing though was she was calling the customer retention department and actually technically lying and saying that I've got a better deal, I'm going to go somewhere, can you do something for me? And I'm just not comfortable with that because, well, firstly, you're lying, but secondly, what if they say, okay, fine, go, but you don't actually have a better deal?
Well, then you miss out on the discount. I don't think she's necessarily lying as much, because the reality is she could go with a different bank that has a lower interest rate, or she could do this and do that and opt out or opt in or whatever. I just think that it's sort of using your words wisely more than lying.
But what about just doing your homework? Like, with the energy provider, right? All you have to do is just go to the energymadeeasy.gov.au website and you can actually see for yourself which rates are the best. Like, it didn't work for me. Like, I wanted to try what she did, right? Because I'm saving, it's great. But because I've already gone into the Energy Made Easy website, I'm already on the best deal.
Yeah.
I've called them before,
Right.
wanting to get it, and they're like, no, sorry, we can't do any better. If you want to leave.
How often do you check that? Because I know there's comparison websites that you can, check your insurance, your mortgage,
CanStar do it,
interest rate, and all that kind of stuff. How often do you do that to make sure that you are still
for
paying the best?
mortgages every year?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it depends on when it's finishes and stuff like that. But yeah, mortgages, I do it every year. Energy provider, depends on the contract. When your contract's finishing, that's when you do it.
That's good, Mel. Like, there's no loyalty these days. Or it's all about the bottom dollar.
No, well,
I
and
think,
that's
as a
what he's
consumer.
saying in his book. There should be no loyalty. That's not like they're, doing their best for you. They're coming raking it in, certainly those banks anyway, so...
But yeah, and like the one, ratecity.com.au is a really good one for you to go to compare all the interest rates and your credit card rates and everything else like that as well.
But she saved so much. I had to question what she was actually spending her money on because I'm like, well, I know where I could save here, and here. But 10,000 so much. Maybe we just spend differently.
I reckon her calculation is 10,000 based on how much she would have spent in a year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd say that as well. Yeah, interestingly.
But money, as she said in her article, it's actually quite frightening to ring some of these companies because you all feel a little bit intimidated. I know I do. When I rang the bank, I was like,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you ring the bank this week?
I did ring another bank because I thought, heck, we could try and get this lower. And they're like, we can't even do as low as what you've got. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Thanks.
Never mind.
It's not intimidating if you know that you're going to go somewhere and you know that it's a better deal. Why would it be intimidating? Because, it's actually good for you.
It's your money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be intimidating because you know that you can go somewhere else and it's easy.
Numbers just frighten me. But from burning your debt to burning your fat, we're handing you over into the very capable hands of our PT, Alicia. Have a look.
Hello, Alicia here, your resident personal trainer at the Table TV show. And we're going to talk about fat burning exercise. How does it work? What is it? Is there a secret exercise? Girls, what do you think? What have you heard?
Please let there be a secret exercise.
Then please don't make it a secret.
Yeah, true, right?
Don't let it be an exercise.
Yes, is there a way to sit there and do nothing and burn fat? I wish, right? So look, the short answer to this question is that there is no exercise that's going to burn fat more than any others. And I had someone email me once and say, what are the best ab exercises to lose belly fat? And I ended up writing this long email back because I said, look, there is none. So if you want to lose body fat, you need to change the way you think about yourself for the start. You need to start seeing yourself as beautiful now before you think, oh, when I get there, then I'll be beautiful. No, treat yourself as you are now. You're worth it, so you're going to put the effort in, right? Secondly, you need to change the way you eat. I mean, fat's on our body because generally we don't exercise enough, or in comparison to the amount of food we eat, we're just eating too much. So changing what we eat and how much we eat is important. And then thirdly, when it does come to exercise, Well, there is no one way. You can't go, oh, I want to lose the fat off my thighs, so I'm going to do like the thigh exercises, right? It just doesn't work like that. Our bodies actually lose fat from the top down. So often for us ladies, hopefully not from the brain. You know, our bodies, the bits that we often want to get rid of, which is here usually, like that's one of the last places to go. So the key is consistency and sticking with it. And, and we probably know, like, where does it go first, right? You notice it here.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So you've got to just wait it out, keep consistent. But when it does come to exercise, HIIT training, which is your high intensity interval training, is one of the best ways to burn body fat, because what's awesome is after you've worked out, your body keeps burning it for longer afterwards because of that elevated heart rate and then the drop in heart rate with the intervals. So just to demonstrate very quickly, Melody, what's one way do you think we could get your heart rate up right now without, going outside or having weights or anything?
Sprinting.
Yeah. You just run on the spot or jump on the spot, right? So, yeah, start first.
I don't want to suggest it because it means I have to.
Yeah.
Yes. Run it on yourself.
So if there's any way that you just want to get that heart rate up and get that body moving, you just need to do some form of like jumping or gating, which is sort of your run movement. And that's going to get that heart rate up pretty quick, particularly if you don't have any joint issues, putting some form of jump in, whether it's a star jump, whether it's like just skipping, that's why skipping's so good, right? Because you're jumping. And doing that for a certain, 20 seconds or so, and then resting for 10. And if you just do that in intervals, but in that time, you have to push yourself. You got to push yourself as hard as you can, get that heart rate up, get your body sweating, and that's what's going to burn fat.
It's true, my heart's still beating quite fast.
Yes.
That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
How long do you need to do it for it to actually make a difference?
Yeah, great question. Look, if you're a busy mum and all you can fit in is like 10 minutes, if you're doing that every day, that is going to make a difference. It might take longer for sure than if you had 30 minutes a day, but something is better than nothing, I believe. So even if you got 5 to 10 minutes, but you can push yourself really hard, get a sweat up in that time, that is going to work. Ideally for HIIT training, you really don't need to do more than 30 minutes. If you're really pushing yourself in that time, you can really do an amazing job in half an hour, which is really cool. So if you're looking for some workouts, ladies, you can jump over onto our YouTube channel, and we've got 10-minute workouts, and I've got some fat-burning HIIT exercises there for you, and I'm sure you will love it. I'll see you there.
Well, how important is family time to you, and do you make room for it in your busy life? The Menzies sure do. Nicole works for Qantas and Jetstar, and Grant is the general manager of his family business, Adina Watches. But every year, this active couple intentionally cycles parts of the world together with their 4 children, including twins. And look, they still look happy and sane. Who would have thought?
Oh.
Thank you for joining us on
Thanks
the
for
show
having
today,
us.
Grant and Nicole. I want to get into your bike stuff, but I just want to find out first, how did you guys meet, Nicole?
I used to work in the jewellery industry in my younger days, and Grant was our watch rep. He used to come through and razzle and dazzle everybody in the little country town. And we sort of made the connection then, and then I don't know, 5, 8 years. Many years later, we hooked up.
Oh, lovely. I was going to say the bling probably helped. So, in terms of cycling and what you do around the world, first of all, you probably would have intentionally talked about having family time and that being really important to you. Was that a topic you actually talked about, or was it just something that naturally happened?
I think it's something that naturally happened. That family was important to both of us, and we didn't want to stop our lives, living for 20 years while we had children. We wanted to incorporate them into, on what we did as a couple. And, we liked doing outdoor stuff, and Grant's always been a rider.
So you're both outdoorsy, one just hasn't been dragged along with the other?
So I was a little dragged along, but I don't go kicking and screaming anymore. I start going, okay, where are we going next? Which one are we going to do next?
So what's the logistics like? Do you just pick a country and then go and then cycle for how long?
We normally take about a month a year, and it's about 1,000 kilometres. We can sort of
about.
It could be 1,100, it could be 950, but let's say in round terms about 1,000. And that can normally we'll pick a start sort of location, and then we'll and a destination, and then we'll just work towards it and feng shui the whole trip as we kind of go along. There's nothing booked, there's nothing planned, except our airfares.
Our beginning and our end.
So did you start cycling doing this sort of thing before you had kids, and then just took them along for the journey? Like, how old were they when you started taking them along?
So Grant and I done one trip together as a couple.
That's a funny story in itself.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when we started a family, it was like, well, why do we have to stop this? Why can't we continue this? So Estella was 14 months old, so she's our number one.
Okay.
That was the first,
And so how
our
old are the
first trip.
kids? How old are the kids?
Now Estella is 9, Archie is 7, and the twins, Audrey and Clancy, are 5.
And so you've done that every year since she was 14.
I think
right?
we've done.
Give or take a take-off pregnancy, then have another one.
I think we've done 7. I think we've done 7.
Seven
now,
as a family.
As a
So
family.
logistically, how did this work? Tell me what a day looked like when you had a 14-month-old and you were cycling.
The classic is like when we did quite a long one, so 3,000 across Europe, basically from the west coast of France to Vienna in Austria. And the twins were only,
10 months
old.
Yeah.
So we had twins that were 10 months old. We had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
2.10, 4.10 and 2 10-month-olds.
Right. So you had a little trailer.
We had two trailers.
Okay,
and a seat. And so we had formula and nappies and squeezy pouches of
It just
food.
sounds so hard.
Yeah.
Like, to me, and it would put me off doing it, but you guys did it.
Yeah. We wanted to make the most of the rest of my maternity leave and also Grant's long service leave. So it was, I look back at the pictures now and I go, were we crazy?
Yes, you were.
What were we doing? But it was just the best 3 months. And I said, we do it every year, which is awesome. But that 3-month one, when you've got little babies.
At the sort of 11 weeks sort of stage, we didn't want it to end. It was like,
Wow,
are we really
really?
Are we really nearly there? It was,
So where did you stay overnight? Like, do you ride every day, or do
Are
you
you
have
ready?
a few days off? Maybe.
Tents.
We can.
We can.
Oh,
we
of
can.
course you do.
Yes, tents. A, it's affordable, but B, when you've got lots of children and you're doing that sort of holiday, having them locked up in a hotel or a room or something is just, it's not fun for anybody. So campgrounds, clean.
The amount of kids and the introduction that the kids bring to other sort of French families, German families, Dutch families, Italian families.
In the same campground.
We'll roll in and...
My husband's cheering right now, just hearing this. They're tent. I'm like,
Tent. And
I'm just.
We're not allowed back, I'm guessing.
No. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there cheering for you.
It's a lifestyle that you normally already have had before, right? It's not just a sudden switch of lifestyle,
Well,
It was for me.
I'd always been a bike rider, and I'd always done a lot of cycle touring myself, with myself and a mate or whoever the case may be. Then Nicole sort of came on the scene. She said, well, and she was like matching handbags and shoes girl, and she was like, I don't go anywhere without half a dozen suitcases. And so she said,
he's not lying.
This bike riding thing that you do, how's it going to work? I'm interested, but how's it going to work? And I said, well, I'll carry everything for you. And she goes, well, where do you want to go? I said, I've got some unfinished business in Vietnam and Cambodia. And she goes, righto, let's go there. It wasn't until we were just about to get off the plane. She goes, well, what do we do now?
I wanted to book accommodation. I wanted to book accommodation, where we're at and where we're staying. And he's like, no, we just, make it up as we go along. And I was like, no.
And that's
Surprise.
No.
So that's then transpired across for each of the journeys with the family, and and so it really keeps you open to the opportunities with local families. Like we've been taken in by an elderly French lady. She
Is
just
that
met
a
us.
key to the family bond, compromise, being able to take another person's passions, make it your own? Because it sounds like you've done a lot of compromising.
Yes, but I in the beginning it was a compromise, but now I really enjoy it. I look forward to the next trip.
Yeah.
I look forward to what country we're going to do next,
and drives it as well.
Yeah.
Like Nicole, she brings this whole skill set of organisation. My Taurian bullet a gate sort of style sometimes works, but her very organised nature can sort of set us up and for meals, because we've got to shop every day, and all those sort of smaller things come along. So Nicole being super organised.
So what benefits do you feel like this has had for your children and your bonding with them?
I think I don't think you can place time or money or anything on it because they enjoy the holidays as much as we do. They look forward to the next holiday and what country we're going to, and they understand the culture. And even though they're small, even they've been travelling since they were small, they know that the world is a big place, and you only have your children for a small amount of time. They're only children for this long, and then they're adults. So we want to cherish every moment that we get. Yes, they drive us crazy. Yes, they can be noisy and all those things, but
you don't get that time back.
We don't get that time back.
Yeah.
No,
You don't. You certainly don't.
It's precious time, and you guys are making the most of it. It sounds amazing. Look, can we get you to stick around for our next topic? We'd love to hear your comments on it as well. So,
Absolutely.
Well, it might say parents' room on the front door, but does it actually mean that? ABC News reported on the story of one Queensland father who was harassed while changing his son's nappy in a parent's room. A woman called him a sicko, told him she was going to call security, and the room was only for mums. Is she sort of exaggerating, or has she actually got a legitimate concern here, do you think?
She has no concern. It's a parent's room, not a mother's room. That's to begin with.
Have you ever had any experience, even overseas, with this sort of thing, Grant?
I'd like to think of myself as a really hands-on dad, and have certainly changed my share of dirty nappies over the time.
Good to hear.
And used the parents' facilities in a shopping centre and that, and I've not ever sort of come across that sort of thing at all,
Well, if you look through the comments on this article, there were several fathers who commented, it's happened to me, I was harassed, I was told to get out, it was only for mum. So there's clearly a group of women who are feeling quite threatened with men in that room. But how do we move towards equality and getting dads more involved then?
That's my main concern because, my husband's the primary carer of my child. So he's going to have to go into the parents' room to change. Luckily, he hasn't told me, well, not that I know of, but he hasn't told me any cases of him being harassed. So I would like to think that it's more one-off, rare case that happens.
Yeah, I would think so. Fiona, has your husband had any of this issue?
No, and I would not be putting up with it either, because I'm all about, he needs to be hands-on. And I would give props to any father that is hands-on and getting involved and taking their kids solo. They've got solo dads out there that are going to parents' rooms and whatnot, so props to them. That's all I've got to say. As for the lady, I don't have much compassion there for her insult towards men, because at the end of the day, parents are doing their best. So to see a father involved in raising their child, caring for their child, hey, more props to you, and we need more men like that.
We absolutely do need more men. Look, on the other, playing the devil's advocate, there are a group of women out there who have been abused, and they may be feeling really sensitive towards men in that room and not feeling as safe.
But does it make it right to judge another person?
Oh, of course not. Definitely not.
But it's not like as if he's lurking around staring at... Like, he's not,
he was
being the
caught
creep
a
in the
pervert.
corner.
Yeah,
he's doing his own... He's, minding his own...
To be fair, you want it done as quickly as possible.
Yeah, he wants to stay around those stinky nappies longer than they have to. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you coming in and telling us about what you do with your family, and all the best, because I'm sure you have another trip coming up. If you want to have your say, jump onto our social media. Let us know what you think about the woman in the parents' room, and don't forget, share with us about your barefoot investor ideas. We'd love to hear them. We will see you next time. Bye for now.